Hi, I'm Danica. You're watching Danica the Artist. If you're a griever or just feeling stuck, this beginner art activity is just for you. I want to caution you about the danger of getting stuck inside yourself. If you imagine your grief and your darkness as a cave, sometimes it's hard to leave because that's the only place where your loved one dwells. You need to get outside of that cave because outside is where you can truly live. And going out requires a healing process that is vital to moving forward and into your future. What needs to happen next is that you need to turn from inside to outside. You need to turn from yourself, essentially, and start thinking about the people around you. One of the best ways to do this is to step forward out of generosity and giving. So today we're going to make a gift to give to someone else who is struggling right now. We're going to give the gift of our art. When we were grieving, we were given many messages from people who cared, but who just simply didn't know what to say. You can see it in any card that you buy. The words just fall flat. Heartfelt thoughts go out to you in this time of sorrow too deep for words. A message of sympathy. Hope it helps to know that many heartfelt thoughts are with you and your family. These cards are beautiful, and we receive many of them when we go through a loss. But know what's even more beautiful? What's even more beautiful is when someone who's been there, who knows what it feels like and knows that words cannot fix, when that person gives a gift of their presence and the lessons that they've been through. You might feel that you're in the middle of your own process, that you don't have enough to be able to offer comfort. Maybe you're thinking, who am I to be able to comfort? This is your gift to give the world, that even while you're in process, you are able to bring people along and to embrace the process by helping another in their own journey. You have the power to offer this to someone else who's been through. You have words that don't act as band-aids. You know what it's like. You can't convince them to go through grief as you did. Their grief will be different from yours. But you can offer words of hope, healing, and life. And you can be there through their process. Go ahead and print out the PDF attached to this course and gather a couple of materials that you'll need. We'll start with several pages of cardstock and also a page of watercolor paper. Take the cardstock and cut it crosswise so that we can make a card out of the two folds. We'll have several cards that we'll make today. Take your watercolor paper and we'll make 3 pieces out of this one, following a line like this. Now cut out your PDF in 4. So, together with the supplies listed beforehand, we have all the components to make several different art cards to give away. To start, we're going to make this butterfly into a salt painting, just like the lesson about process. We'll begin by covering the butterfly in different lines. You can choose to treat each line as a shape that you fill in with glue, or to outline it and then leave it empty. As you go, remember how important the process is. Don't rush through, just enjoy. can add additional lines in the white spaces or just leave them blank. Next, take sea salt and sprinkle all over the piece. And then set it aside to let it dry. Once it's dry, go ahead and start the watercolor process. What color will your butterfly be? I'm feeling the happy yellows. Just touch it to the salt, let it travel. As you work, think about the transformative process that we all have to go through in order to become something beautiful. Butterflies are a classic symbol of transformation. Where have you come from? Where were you when you started? Versus where are you now? Who in your life needs to undergo the transforming process? Maybe they're right in the process of it now and they need your encouragement. Remember that salt, according to the Buddhist culture, symbolizes ashes. As we're making a butterfly out of salt, we're showing the beauty that can come from ashes. Another thing you can do with butterflies is that you can fill in the gaps, perhaps with a different color than the outline. Maybe you want to make yours symmetrical or give it different colors on different sides. Once you feel like it's done, set it aside for a second. Select a piece of cardstock. Fold the cardstock in half, so now you have a card. And think about what type of background you want to give. You can add splotches of blue to indicate sky. You can even draw clouds. Or maybe you just want a colorful background. Another fun thing to do is to get a whole bunch of water on your brush, dab it into a color, and if there's enough, you can flick to give a little splotches of color. Let these two pieces dry and we'll come back and combine them. Once it's dry, take scissors and cut your butterfly out. And you can paste it onto the card. I think mine looks like it's soaring into the sky like this, so I'll paste it sideways. I like how it's not fully glued down so that it has some depth to the picture. Next, take the watercolor sheet we cut, that's 1/2 of a full page, and fold it in half. I like a nice border, so I'll take some painter's tape. For this one, we're going to create a rain scene, just like we did for the session, Let the Tears Come. Remember, take a white crayon and start to sketch raindrops. You can make lines, dashed lines, to show the rain coming down, or you can make teardrops to show the rain. If you want, you can combine the two, dash, teardrop, dash, or you could draw even an umbrella, which I think I'll do. Now take your watercolor and start covering the page with the colors that you like. We'll use a blue-purple scheme for this one. And if you so desire, if you still have your salt out, you can sprinkle it on the surface in the wet areas. Just a tiny bit. Once this piece is dry, go ahead and rub off the salt. If you like how your piece turned out, you can just let it be like this. But if you want to define your lines or add in more things, you can always use crayon on top of the finished piece. For our next one, grab these two pieces of paper. They're from different lessons, but we're going to combine them so that the heart is being held by the hands. You can color these things with anything, including the watercolors, but I think I'll use some crayons today. Color as much as you like, however you like. A hand does not have to be flesh color, and a heart doesn't have to be red. If you want to learn how to color with shading, I'll show you how to do this. First, I covered the piece of paper with base flesh tone. I have pale skin, but I gave this one a little bit more tanner skin. I did it with a light touch. And so in the areas where there would be shadow, I'm going to use a harder touch. You can practice by cupping your own hands and deciding where is the shadow. I see that in most creases there is a darker place, so I'll use those creases to press harder with the same flesh tone. Additionally, there's a shadow that's created where the two hands come together. And then there's a couple of different lines in the palms. We have one line in the drawing, but we can add more. And then if you look at your wrists, there's always a line where that big vein is, and a line across underneath the hand. We can add that with our crayon. Next, I'll color my heart. As you're coloring, think about whose hands those are that you just colored, and whose heart this is that you just colored. Maybe it's the heart of the person that you're giving this to. Maybe it's your heart that you're symbolically giving to them. Maybe you can think about what can you add to the heart. Maybe you can make cracks in it to symbolize a broken heart. Maybe you can make stitches to symbolize a heart being mended. Once I even made a painting where there was flowers growing out of these. Once you finish coloring, take scissors and cut out the heart. Take a glue stick and paste it on top. Then take a half sheet of cardstock. I chose a darker color so that the white paper would stand out as a background. Fold the cardstock in half. You may have to trim so that there's a border around. Wow, that's beautiful. We can set it aside. Next, take out the tree, along with watercolor, paper towel, water, and a brush. Now, if you remember in the seasons video, we started with this drawing and we made each season represented on each corner. You can choose to do that in 4 seasons, or you can choose one of the seasons to illustrate. I think I'll do a 4 seasons perspective. So here will be spring. I'll start with the sunny green. I'll add in a summer tree with a darker green, the leaves that are more mature, branches that are more full. I remember in the lesson I made a 4th of July scene at night, but in this one for summer, I'll paint a little swing. I'll add the rope later with a pen. I love the tree swings in the summer. For fall in this quadrant, I'll show that some of the leaves are starting to turn colors using this red. I'll also make a leaf pile. Some leaves scattered on the ground. Well, it's hard to draw with watercolor because it's hard to control it with all the water flowing. But with this, we'll add a pen later to define the lines, so don't worry too much about them being perfect. Below ground in the roots, I'll use a darker brown. I'll show the soil line, painting there. Add some more water to just cover up the dirt. I like it kind of splotchy, that looks cool. And I'll continue, use a little black for the darker winter soil. More moisture, more frozenness down here. And I think I'll take a white crayon so it'll help us make some snow. So I'll make the snow on the ground. I'm making a white line. And then a little snowman. And I'll use light blue, and the snow will show right through for us. We can add details to the snowman later. Maybe I'll do a little bit darker on the snowman so he stands out. There you go. Set this aside to dry and we'll add some pen and ink. Once it's dry, you can use any type of ink pen to add the details, as much as you want. So I'll start with my swing. These are the ropes that connect the tree in the swing, and then I'll have the rope coming down. There's the swing of summer. Outlining makes the watercolor blend in more with the PDF lines. Over here we have our snowman, remember? He didn't stand out very much, so we can outline him. Can even do little dots to signify snowflakes falling. If we make one of them a star. And there's the tree up here. You can outline a little bit if you desire. You can define the flowers more. This one looks like magnolia flowers. You don't have to define every single line. There we go. I'm satisfied with this. I think it looks great. Good portrayal of the seasons. So take a piece of cardstock, fold it in half, just like the others. We'll have to trim it to make it fit. So I'll be careful in my trim on the sides because it's almost just there. A little more trim on the top and bottom. Mine got a little bit wrinkly with the thin paper that I printed on but actually I don't mind because it gives the piece a little bit of texture. So I'm choosing not to glue it down perfectly so that you can see the texture coming through. With this one, I'm not sure why, but it feels like it needs a signature, so I'll just do that. When you look at these cards, think of the people in your life who need these things, these messages of hope. I can't tell you what to write in these, but I can offer some ideas. This lesson was about letting the tears come, the importance of letting your emotions out so that you can heal. You can write about that story and give this to that person. This lesson was about embracing all the seasons of life, how even in the fall and the winter, the darker seasons, there is a purpose. You can comfort someone in telling them that this season that they're in won't last forever, that the spring and summer will come, but assuring them that there is a purpose to this thing they're going through, even as dark and cold as it may be. This combines two lessons that we had. This heart was part of let the tears come, and these hands were part of healthy remembrance. But what do they symbolize? When you thought about whose hand and whose heart this is, maybe you have a message to communicate. You're giving them your heart, or you're saying, let your heart rest in the hands of the person who cares about you. Whatever it is, you have a message to communicate through this powerful image. Tell them in this card. This card embraces the process and also talks about the lesson we learned about seeing the beauty and creating the beauty from ashes. What do you have to say about your own transformation? Maybe you can write a wish about that person's transformation. Give them hope for what is to come. My last encouragement is to take the card that you're giving to the person and attach it to another gift, such as a bar of chocolate, a tissue box, a journal with a new pen, maybe a meal that you're bringing to them, or a plate of cookies. Whatever it is, this card will go perfectly on top of it. I hope this encourages you to think outward, because this is a part of your healing, that the comfort that you have received is now big enough and deep enough to be able to comfort someone else. If you found some new insight or inspiration, make sure to hit the subscribe button and like this video. That lets me know that you want to see more videos just like this one. I'm a certified therapeutic art life coach, as well as an artist, art teacher, art minister, and creative mama. Jeez. You can check out my artwork and learn more about my coaching and other projects at danicatheartist.com. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.